I'll welcome Mr. Mandeep Gupta for his next presentation. Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Railway Metro Infrastructure for organizing this workshop. You know, and here I would like to talk about adoption of open to payment systems and adoption of NCMC and why the payment terminals are so important when we talk about the open loop payment system as an ecosystem. You know, and we also talk about uh, the necessity of and the roles played by different players in terms of a complete successful transaction. We talk about the industry requirement and we talk about uh, the transaction life cycle. I would like to begin with the introduction about FIKE. We are a German-based company. We were founded about 45 years ago in 1966, and we have a team of 400 employees, usually all domain experts. We are world's largest manufacturer for contactless RFID NFC readers and sensors. And the model what we work on is usually we partner and supply components to manufacturers, and we also work as a OEM for system integrators. We manufacture C-Vent box and C-Vent pin and C-Vent plug. These are the three devices for public transport segment. These are basically unattended payment terminals and accept all kind of fare media, including closed loop and also open loop payments, open including Visa, Master, and Rupee for India. Now these terminals can also get, you can integrate these terminals into ticket vending machine, gates, validators, ticket readers, and other onboard units depending on what the application is and how the system integrator wants or the PTO wants the solution to be designed. So you can use our NFC interface, mobile apps, and also any kind of card to make payments and move through. Here you see we have done many vast projects globally and with our partners, system integrators, payment operators, and also the transport operators or the public transport authorities. Some of the most prestigious projects on open loop payments in the world. And in India, we are proud to say that FIG event has been adopted by NCMC for many PTOs, including Noida Metro, Nagpur Metro, MMRDA Line 217, again Mumbai Line 1, then Delhi Metro Rail Corporation for Airport Line, Pune Metro, Mumbai Line 3 by MMRC, Chennai Metro Rail, and Kolkata Metro. Also, we are in BRT business and we are helping MNEX on the Rajkot project. So now I would like to take you through the story of open loop payments and how they are being implemented in the public transport sector, especially metros. The first thing is to understand what are the who are the stakeholders, and what is their goal in terms of the open loop payment ecosystem. To start with, the merchant, which is a PTU or the public transport authority, a PTA. They are the usually AFC owner, and they float tenders. Then they invite acquiring banks, you know, which also are connected through PSP with their AFC. So that means that the PTO has a usually PTO invites the system integrators and the acquiring bank. On the other side, they issue transit tickets or cards. I would say in this case EMB cards to the customers who can be either a bank customer or it can be PTO or the PTA's customer. You know, and of course, then there is a license of the card band. In India, currently NCMC is majorly done by RuPay, but Visa and Master are very closely working with government, and soon you'll see also Master NCMC and Visa adopting the NCMC also. I'm sure that most of the attendants here know this NCMC process. The how it the transaction flow is. A customer or the commuter comes to any public transport, and they choose bus, train, or metro, whatever, and they simply go to the entry point. They tap the card, and then the card talks to the AFC and also acquiring switch at the back end, and the transaction goes through. In between, a lot of processes happen, which I will discuss in upcoming slides. This is a typical scenario where the AFC infrastructure at the PTO's back office looks like. And the on the left hand side, you see the little brown interfaces, which is actually a commuter interface, and commuter does not see what happens behind this. So let me talk here about the commuter interface only, which the fair media, when we say commuter has today many choices whether they can opt for the token or the paper-based barcode tickets. Already we have seen smart cards being distributed by traditionally PTOs, which is a closed loop card. Then they can also have a mobile app or a EMB card now implemented in many parts of the world, where you can directly tap on a Visa, Master, Amex, or any kind of a payment card, be it be credit or debit, for the account-based ticketing, and also NFC interface. So you can use your just tap your mobile or any other wrist watch or anything, any other form factor where the stored value is there. On the field, there are different form factors for validating and issuing tickets, which is ticket vending machine, gates, validators, ticket office machines, kiosks, so on and so forth. And of course, customers also have third-party interface or the portals where from they can download a QR-based ticket, or they can, create their own monthly passes. Yeah, this is the most important slide in my presentation. I would like to here it sums up the entire transaction life cycle, what happens where. So at first level, when a card comes to the terminal or the gate, a physical data exchange between the card and the AFC terminal happens, which then talks to the backend operator, and it checks there for the blacklisting or hostile of the card, whether the card is blacklisting or it can be used. And simultaneously, it throws back the information. Here the green channel is where the entire backend operation of the payment transit fare calculation happens. That information is further passed on to a payment acquiring bank, where the data transfer between the card information is in a secured way transferred to the bank or the payment acquirer for further processing. The functional requirement of different ecosystem players is that the gates or the infrastructure at the station has to be complied with EMB1 and EMB2, which are the kernels which enables hardware to speak with different card schemes, you know, and then the system integrator develops the terminal application or the application for the entire AFC, and also the which is usually known as L3 application, which gets connected with the PSP host system and the bank, and then the banking host system. So again, it depends on the card specific that you need different L3 application for different card schemes. Uh, like American Express, Visa, RuPay, JCB. So you need one application, but it has to be certified for different thing. The overall importance here is that the end-to-end from the card to the to the terminal, to the backend of it. The entire card data has to be encrypted, and for which I think PCI has a laid down policy, and the entire security certification is known as PCI DSS. That's the data security standard followed by many countries where the open loop payments are being implemented, whether it is for transit or non-transit, both cases. Now, if the terminal supplied to you is PCI PTS certified, then the scope of PCI DSS decreases substantially, because when the bank is appointed, usually the bank and acquiring host system is already PCI DSS certified. So that means only the data which which talks to the card data, which talks to the terminal, goes to the backend in an encrypted way. So the obligation for the PTO or the system integrator in this case is much limited in terms of achieving the PCI DSS certification. Yeah, so this is basically this slide represent how and what is happening in the payment terminal, and beyond that, in the application. And the yellow wave is the third wave is the PSP acquiring switch, how the transaction is processes. So the contactless interface is there. You see EMB kernels which talk to different payment schemes and accept the cards. The data is tokenized and sent to a open loop processing application, which is again hosted in the terminal, and which talks to then the bank, and processes the entire transaction and payment cycle. You know, Again, this slide goes to the PCI requirements. This actually tells you about what the EMBCO and what PCI defines. Usually, there is a confusion that EMBCO, if the terminals or the infrastructure is certified for EMBCO, what is the requirement of PCI? So EMBCO only talks about the specifications, level one. So it talks about the specifications for interfaces on the card and the contactless readers. So there is a set guidelines for that, and level two is the kernels, which talks about the card data exchange. Whereas the PCI talks about the security standards and the security walls, which has to be created, on the same system to protect that data, so the no data breach happens. So it is not only the hardware, but it also talks about the applications and the processes which needs to be done. We take a deep dive here on the PCI, just to make you understand the differences between what kind of a certifications are available. So as I said, PCI DSS is a full end-to-end standard. So if you see in India also, RBI had taken out through NPCI a letter which says the PCI DSS compliance is mandatory. But again, when you go to PCI PTS, it is the security standard and guidelines set for the payment terminals. And then moving on to PCI P2P, it is basically a terminal application and the key injection system. So if the terminal is deployed in field, or and you now want to change the acquiring bank, maybe 5 years or 6 years later, you find some other bank coming in, then how do you do the key management on site, and how do you change the acquiring key? So for that, PCI P2PE encryption is there. You can remotely do the key injection. PCI PA DSS is basically a payment application certification, which is also required in India. As I talked in my earlier slide, the entire ecosystem has to be EMB1, EMB2 compliant for sure, and also PCI DSS certified, as you see on the right hand side, and PCI PA DSS. These are the two requirements set by NPCI. But if the scope, if you already have a PCI PTS certification, then the scope reduces drastically, and no investments, or I would say very less investments, have to be made for achieving any kind of a certification depending on how you are deploying your solution. This is a letter issued on December 26, 2019 by NPCI, which states that PA DSS and PCI DSS compliance for transit acquiring is mandatory. And if you look here, it says that members participating in providing NCMC acquiring infrastructure should ensure that the terminals and other infrastructure installed at the merchants for acquiring and storing data for NCMC needs to comply with PCI standards. Yes. So now we come to our products. FIG usually manufactures three products for payments. Cvent plug is our core certified terminal, which can be integrated into gates or any other form factor. It is a OEM device. You can do the customer configuration, choose your own type of ports, firmware, and the kernel schemes, the payment schemes you want to be implemented. So this is our most widely used device, since it is easy to install in multiple form factors. Then the Cvent plug also comes with a casing which is known as Cvent box, which is usually used for ticket office machine or the ticket reader, and it can be integrated into a TVM also. It has a casing on top of the Cvent plug, so to avoid any metal interface interfering with the antenna. This is why we provide for users to installation is easier. Cement pin is our third type of terminal, which has both contactless and contact interface and can be used for the higher size transaction. When now the pay limit is more than 5,000. But depending on different countries and their payment schemes and amounts of, limitations of the contactless amount. So this comes with the pin pad and also the high security card reader. These two go hand in hand and can be deployed in the TVMs or any other vending machine. The payment approvals, Cvent terminals are PCI, PTS, SRED 5 certified, which is the latest certification. It is valid till 2026, and whenever a new update comes, from PCI, the terminals will also go for that certification. This is the latest one in place. Then we have EMB contactless level 1 certified. Um, and on the other side we have PCI P2 PEKE certified. Then we also have a quality certificate from Mastercard. They have tested the terminals and found that Cement's quality is excellent, and the shelf life of Cement is about 15 years, so it's a long lasting product. We also have a German banking application residing on the Cement, and we accept Jago card in Germany since we are a German-based company. So we've done this kind of integration for German banking industry. On the level two side, we have contact, Mastercard, Visa, American Express, Discover, Rupee, and Pure Kernel, which caters to multiple requirements from multiple continents and countries. We talk about here the Cvent's application architecture. So Cvent is a single interface where both closed loop cards like Despire, Sony Felica can be read, and it accepts the payments from both open and closed loop. So for the customer, when he walks in and taps the card, they only find one place. They will not know, you know that this card, it doesn't matter whether they hold a closed loop or the open loop card. So we have a dispatcher which understands that what kind of a card has been tapped, and it processes the information and send that data to relevant you know uh, payment schemes. Therefore the transaction life cycle, or I would say the transaction time, is reduced, and as a result you have a very efficient transaction. We have 8 different slots in Cvents, which can be signed by different keys. That means that you can have up to 8 different applications working at the same time. C-band terminals are available in three options. One is C-band Flex 1, which is only the hardware certification up to level 1 and PCI PTS certification. Then there's C-band Flex 2, which is a added layer of the kernels also, so which can talk to multiple card schemes. And then the C-band app, which can be provided as a level 3 application uh, and can be done by FIG directly to connect with any acquiring host of the payment service provider. This is our now certificates. We have PCI approved for the key injection facility. Then this is the sample of PCI SRED certification. This we are also a member of Alliance Smart Ticketing, in Europe, and we follow multiple standards, for UITP, Calypso, ITSO, so on and so forth. AMBCO Level 1 certification. Here is specimen of our certificate, valid up to 2023. And these are the different certifications for EMBCO Level 2. So basically, all the certifications for hardware and the life cycle is managed by FILE. So the system integrators and partners who choose C1 terminals do not have to worry that how the renewals of the certification would happen from time to time. So we assure that the entire project's life cycle is taken care of. We also have a approval for shock and vibration, as everybody knows that the terminals which are installed at the gates or at the stations, can be subject to, I would say, shock and vibrations at times. So these are tested terminals. We have approval from railway standards also, because the majorly this terminals are used for railway applications. We have automotive approval for integration in buses or other public transport modes. IK10 for shock resistance, IP65 for water and dust protection. And these are a few pictures of the. This is here you see a driver bus control unit and ticket vending machines. C-Vend is integrated as a collection payment collection for the fair media, for approving products. These are the pictures of some of the projects in India. On the left side, you see integration in a ticket vending machine, and center you see a ticket reader, and on right side you see a gate accepting NCMC payments. Why you choose Spike? The reason being is that we are focused on payment terminals, and we have a product which shelf life is 15 years. We have a long time strategy for the maintenance and doing renewals of different complex certifications for our customers. So we have that strategy in place, and our management is focused um, to be a OEM and supply terminals to all the key system integrators or players in the industry. The hardware design is robust and the vandalism safe. We follow many tests and certifications to assure that we have a standard product with a high quality deliverables. You know. Then we also have acceptance of all kind of payment cards and NFC wallets, uh, fast transaction processing, the hardware software development. It's all in-house. We have different teams, and we support full development. The product is made in Germany. Again, on a single terminal, both closed loop and open loop transactions can be processed, which gives PTO ease and the customer ease to use Cement and accept different kind of payment modules. Um, then we have a single SDK which can be used for the development of L3 applications and integrations with different payment schemes for faster deployment. Yeah, flexible form factors and components make it easy for Cement to be integrated with any other hardware. Thank you so much, and I hope that you find this presentation interesting. Here, my details are mentioned, or the team from Wave Metro Infrastructure can share. For any questions, we are open to answer. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and the presentation.
Thank you, Himani. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you, sir.